Racing is in my blood. It's a part of me, just like it was a part of my dad. Growing up around the track, I witnessed firsthand the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. I saw the dedication it took to be a champion, the sacrifices made in pursuit of a dream. My father, Dale Earnhardt Jr., wasn't just a racer, he was an icon. He was the intimidator, a force to be reckoned with on the track. His legacy, forever intertwined with the number 3, left an indelible mark on NASCAR. From a young age, I knew I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I loved the roar of the engine, the smell of burnt rubber, the adrenaline rush of pushing a car to its limits. I started racing go-karts as a kid, honing my skills, dreaming of the day I could compete at the highest level. When I finally got behind the wheel of a stock car, it felt like coming home. The number 8, a number with its own rich history in our family, became my badge of honor, a symbol of the legacy I was determined to uphold. My early years in NASCAR were a whirlwind. I learned from the best, competing against seasoned veterans, proving myself race after race. There were victories, of course, moments of pure elation when I crossed that finish line first. But there were also setbacks, crashes, and disappointments that tested my resolve. Through it all, I never lost sight of my goals: to win races, to make my dad proud, and to carve my own path in the sport we both loved. The pressure was immense, being the son of a legend. Everyone had expectations, comparing me to my father, wondering if I could live up to the Earnhardt name. But I used that pressure as fuel, pushing myself harder, determined to prove that I wasn't just riding on my father's coattails. I was Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I was here to make my own mark. The number 8 wasn't just a number on a car, it was a symbol of family, of history, of a legacy that extended far beyond the racetrack. My grandfather, Ralph Earnhardt, had driven the number 8, and it was a natural fit for me when I started my own racing career. The number carried weight, a sense of responsibility to honor those who had come before me. Driving the number 8 wasn't always easy. It came with scrutiny, with comparisons to my father and grandfather, with the constant reminder of the legacy I was carrying on my shoulders. But it also came with immense pride, with a sense of connection to my family's racing roots, with the knowledge that I was continuing a tradition that spanned generations. The number 8 became synonymous with my own racing identity, a symbol of my determination, my passion, and my commitment to the sport. It represented the ups and downs of my journey, the victories and the defeats, the lessons learned, and the bonds formed along the way. But the number 8 also became a source of contention, a symbol of the rift that had torn our family apart. After my father's tragic death, the rights to his name and likeness, including the number 8, became entangled in a legal battle that pitted me against my stepmother, Teresa. It was a painful chapter, a public airing of family grievances that left me feeling betrayed and disillusioned. The loss of my father was devastating, a wound that cut deep and took a long time to heal. In the aftermath of his death, our family, already fractured by past hurts, seemed to drift further apart. The battle over his legacy, over the rights to his name and image, only exacerbated the pain and division. Teresa, my stepmother, had her own vision for how my father's legacy should be managed, a vision that often clashed with my own. She was fiercely protective of his image, of the brand he had built, and she was determined to control how it was used. I understood her motivations to a degree, but her approach felt cold, businesslike, lacking the emotional connection I felt to my father's memory. The legal battles were grueling, a public spectacle that I never wanted. It felt like our family's dirty laundry was being aired for the world to see, and it pained me to think that my father's legacy was being tarnished by our disagreements. I tried to find common ground, to reach a compromise that would honor his memory and allow us to move forward as a family, but it felt like every attempt was met with resistance. The feud took its toll, its strained relationships created resentment and cast a shadow over what should have been a time of healing and remembrance. I often wondered what my father would have thought of it all, of his family torn apart by the very legacy he had worked so hard to build. Despite the challenges, the heartaches, and the weight of expectations, I never lost sight of my love for racing. The thrill of competition, the camaraderie of the pit crew, the roar of the crowd, these were the things that kept me grounded, that reminded me why I fell in love with this sport in the first place. Throughout my career, I experienced incredible highs and devastating lows. I won races, stood on the podium countless times, and earned the respect of my peers. but I also endured crashes, injuries, and seasons of disappointment that tested my limits. Through it all, I learned the true meaning of perseverance, of picking myself up after a setback and coming back stronger. I learned that true champions are defined not just by their victories but by how they handle adversity. It's about the grit, the determination, the unwavering belief in yourself, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about the lessons learned from failure, the resilience to come back stronger, and the humility to acknowledge that you can't do it alone. I was fortunate to be surrounded by talented teams, dedicated crew chiefs, and loyal sponsors who believed in me. They pushed me to be better, to refine my skills, and to never give up on my dreams. Together we celebrated victories, learned from our mistakes, and forged bonds that extended far beyond the racetrack. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more sports updates.